When a government commits a negligence, in order to bring a lawsuit, you have to find an attorney who wants to do it. The financial motivation has not been there. And then even once you do successfully bring a suit, whether it's settled or a jury finds the government guilty, then, as Representative Joseph so eloquently described, you have to hope and pray you can find a bill sponsor and a lobbyist. And then in a year when we're amenable to hearing claims bills, it's a very, very difficult funnel. This family has been waiting for 6 years. For 6 years, they've been waiting for a total amount of $600,000. They got $200,000 because that's our sovereign immunity caps right now. But they've been waiting for 6 years to get the rest. We're going to hopefully enter conferencing and each be able to bring home some member appropriations projects that would make this dollar amount pale by comparison. What I do care for is all of the people who have reached out to me who weren't able to seek redress against their government when they were the victim of negligence because the financial caps were just so low that no attorney would represent them.
While open adoption is already available in Florida, there's no way to ensure that the parties in the open adoption uphold the post-adoption agreement. This bill expands current law, allowing for post-adoption communication and contact in adoptions arising from the state's child welfare system, and creates a statutory mechanism for such contracts for contact arising from private adoptions. We should always consider what the alternative is when we are evaluating legislation. The alternative for these students is a school that is half empty and is in the bottom 10% of schools statewide, not just in that district, but statewide. So the alternative for those students is to remain in an empty and failing school. If that child care provider closes down because they can't afford to pay their teachers anymore, then I told you there's 100 kids in my preschool. That's 100 parents that have to go figure out some other child care solution. Parents everywhere are really hurting on how expensive child care is. I hope that this helps even just a little bit. Before a hurricane strikes, before disaster strikes, we're going to improve the information that counties and cities post on their websites about hurricane services. We're going to double down on training for our local officials. The bill has proactive steps to take on debris removal contracts, and it makes investments in our hurricane shelters. After the storm hits, it has measures to help residents recover. It restricts impact and permitting fees, requires permitting services are offered for 40 hours a week as soon as practicable, specifies that a look-back period should be no longer than 1 year, and it ensures consistency for property owners.
And I hope you remember the point that I've made over and over again on all these claims bills, because we're going to have this conversation again.